how close are we to living in a Jurassic Park? Our next guest worked as a technical advisor for the Spielberg film, and now he plans on hatching a living, breathing dinosaur, or so he says. How? He says he can work backwards from a chicken. Jack Horner wants to reverse evolution, if you will. If you want to call him crazy, he says, go for it. Just keep in mind, he has been proving people calling him crazy wrong for decades. Joining us now is renowned paleontologist Jack Horner, whose newest quest is featured in October's Wired magazine. You can see it there, Reverse Evolution. What is the premise, Jack?
Well, first off, birds are dinosaurs. A chicken, being a bird, is a dinosaur. But what we want to do is make a bird or a chicken look a little more like a dinosaur. Satisfy the sixth graders. And
that, I think, would have made me about as happy as a sixth grader could have been at the time if I was in sixth grade. And I imagine there's plenty of others, probably all of them, who would give their favorite tennis ball or whatever it might be for the opportunity to visit with your dinosaur. How do you, is this legal? Like, how do you, well, we all saw the movie, you know what I'm saying, Jack?
Right, I understand that, and fortunately we make these, we will be making these little chicken dinosaurs one at a time, so we don't have to worry too much, and they are chickens, they're not dinosaurs, they're not tyrannosaurs anyway.
So the idea is
but the whole idea.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, the whole idea really is pretty simple, and it is to do a little bit of genetic engineering, and just flip a couple of switches. We hope that will bring back the tail. Birds evolved, from tail dinosaurs, and so there was. They basically lost their tail over time, and we want to just sort of reverse that and kind of grow a tail back by flipping we think a single, or at least what we think is a single gene. We know that when the embryo is developing, a chicken embryo is developing in its egg, it actually starts to grow a tail, and then a gene turns on that resorbs that tail, and so we're looking for that gene to stop it from resorbing, so it will hatch out with a tail.
You seem like, I feel like you have a little bit, some of the things you're saying seem very concrete, and others seem to be indication of theorization or a hypothesis on your part that you believe you can manifest. Am I interpreting your language correctly?
Well, that's yeah. But some of this has been done. Recently, a lab at the University of Wisconsin was able to stimulate, using a gene, stimulate a gene to actually get a bird to create its, basically grow first-generation teeth. And we know that birds, their ancestors had teeth, so without adding anything to the chicken, we now know how to at least grow some kind of a tooth in a bird. I figure if we did teeth, a tail, and transform the wings into hands, which we think is another relatively simple operation, we will have something that looks a lot more like a dinosaur than a bird.
What are the chances that it will try to bite you?
Well, it probably will. A chicken would try to bite me too, I'm sure.
So a small chicken that has been converted to an animal with a tail and hands and teeth sounds like you said, stimulating and all this. How do we prevent this chicken from becoming, the size of a hippopotamus?
Well, that would take a little more gene manipulation, I think.
All right.
But the cool thing about this project, really, is it's not just to make, we do want to transform a bird into something that looks a little more like a dinosaur. But remember, it's still a chicken. And a chicken still is a dinosaur. So it's sort of a modification of of a chicken.
You're going to get us all confused because you're telling us it's still a chicken, and then you're telling us the chicken's a dinosaur, and, you know, it's like, who's on first over here? But the real point of this article is that the science has advanced to an extraordinary place, obviously, where a conversation like the one that we're entertaining and the nature of the editorial in the magazine is not just about the goal that you have right now, but also the fact that science is in a position to even entertain such ambitions. Is that correct?
Exactly. And related to one of your previous topics on education, here's a great chance for kids to get involved in learning about developmental biology and evolutionary development.
Are you suggesting kids should start experimenting on converting chickens into dinosaurs?
I think that would just be great, yeah.
That'd be pretty fun, right? You should actually recruit. I mean, do you have any young people working with you in the laboratory?
Not yet, but I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it seems like it could be fun. What is the major innovation that you're benefiting from that you happen to be here at a point in human history where you can do this?
Well, a benefit to come out of this, once we understand how to turn these genes on or how to turn them off, obviously, it's going to help a lot of applications in the medical field. But really, you know, the coolest thing about it is that if you can reactivate an ancestral gene, obviously you could only have ancestral genes if there were ancestors. And so this is one of those cases where, you know, it shows how evolution works.
The headline says, reverse evolution. Scientists know how to turn a chicken into a dinosaur, although the headline should be, scientists know that a chicken is a dinosaur, but we'll take that up with the editors. What could possibly go wrong is your question, and give us your, there's obviously a lot we all are thinking about right now on that question. What could go wrong?
Well, there's not really anything that could go wrong. Jurassic Park is a movie. It was a good movie, but we're not messing with DNA, we're messing with genes, and so you can only make these animals one at a time, and so if a chickenosaurus mates with a chicken, you still have a chicken.
All right, so here's an idea that just occurred to me, although now it's too late. I need to get a gig in your lab. What if we took an alligator, which is also a dinosaur, if I'm not mistaken, in its own right? No, it's not. No. See, I'm wrong. See, this is why you can't hire me. Is there another large animal like this that is chicken-like as a dinosaur, as I incorrectly speculated an alligator would be, so that you could try to do this
all birds are dinosaurs, so you could take an ostrich, I guess, and do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
An ostrich would work.
All right.
But why, sixth graders want them big, just like you do. But I say let's keep them small until we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's why you're in charge.
Probably.
Nice to meet you, Jack.
It was nice talking to you.
All right.